It really started affecting me physically. The stress of that I was lying to parents and to everyone, and it was against everything I believe in. I had to do a lot of prayer.
That was Melissa Batty-Smoose, a former San Jose State University volleyball coach, who is now suing the school, saying she was fired for raising concerns about a transgender athlete on the team. That athlete, Blair Fleming, was at the center of a scandal last year that saw some teams forfeit games against San Jose State. Batty-Smoose says she was fired after filing a Title IX complaint in which she alleged the university had showed favoritism toward Fleming and withheld knowledge about the player's birth gender. Watch this.
Who would ever guess this, that I would have to, in my 30 years career, have to, take on something like this. I was like, something's wrong with this picture. Oh, by the way, Blair is, trans.
A male.
Both Todd Kress and the administration, Laura Alexandra, was not allowed to talk about that, allow parents to know or anyone to know. The same thing that they were doing to the athletes, they were doing to me, threatening me to fire me.
The lawsuit was filed against the California State University Board of Trustees, which oversees San Jose State. It reads in part this way: the school's actions in suspending and terminating Batty-Smoose were not based on her job performance, but were in direct retaliation for her opposition to sex discrimination and her advocacy for the fairness and equal access to programs, services, and activities for female athletes, end of quote. We have now reached out to San Jose State for any comment. We have yet to hear back. Kennedy, what about the athletes? Like, you're playing against San Jose State and you forfeit because of some of these very salient issues of injury potential, so on and so forth, or maybe it's based on principle. They don't get that time back. They don't get their young sports careers back to redo those games.
Yeah, especially when they're also subject to the same kind of retaliation that this coach has been.
Right.
And there are some very real ramifications here. There are people who, and the argument has turned the tide against them, but there are people who are still arguing that trans athletes should be able to play in women's leagues. And it's not fair unless you're going to completely scrap Title IX and allow women to use performance-enhancing drugs, including testosterone, so they can, try and do whatever they can to level the biological playing field. Then someone has to grow a spine, as the IOC eventually did, in order to protect women. That is not a bad thing. And it's actually trying to capitulate has made things so much more divisive and unsafe. And, it's like, I'm not a lawyer yet. The day is young. But I think she does have a case here. And I think anyone who has lost their careers, lost scholarships, lost places on the podium, they do as well. And these schools realize that this administration is being far more aggressive than any other past administration. And that's why you're seeing places like Harvard and Columbia and eventually UCLA all fall in line, because they know those sweet, sweet federal dollars will be withheld if they continue to FAFO.